I'm so excited. Happy Halloween. Let's make a spooky cheesecake. If you're new here, my name is Tiffany, and today it is Halloween. In honor of today's festivities, today we are making a spooky wookie cake, and let's just go ahead and get started. I got today's recipe for this chocolate peanut butter cheesecake from omgchocolatedesserts.com. This cheesecake has an Oreo cookie crust, and that's where we're going to begin. But first, we must prepare our spring form pan. Grab yourself a 9-inch spring form pan. Grease it up with your spray stuff, or in my case, I used coconut oil. Then line the bottom of your pan with a layer of parchment paper. And now we're going to do something I've never done before. We are going to wrap the outside of the pan with aluminum foil. 2 layers. I don't know. I've never done it before. I've also never made cheesecake before, so there's that. Spooky. Looking so spooky. Make sure you bring your tin foil up around the sides of the pan. The idea here is that water won't be able to leak in from the underside. So make sure that your tin foil doesn't have any holes in it. Oh, there's a spider in here. Wow. Once your tin foil is nice and tight, you can set this aside for now, and we'll move on to the next step. In a food processor, finely grind 2 cups of whole Oreo cookies. Food processor this up until you have a whole bunch of really fine crumbs. This includes the filling. Melt 4 tablespoons of butter. Combine your Oreo cookie crumbs into your butter and mix them thoroughly, making sure that all of your crumbs are equally moist. Take this cookie crumble mixture and put it into your pre-prepared springform pan. Press it down all across the bottom as evenly as possible. This is going to be your cookie crumble crust. Now you can preheat your oven to 350 degrees. In your stand mixer or a hand mixer or any kind of mixer at all, you're gonna take 2 what are those called? Schwersch? Nope. You're gonna take 32 ounces of cream cheese that's already previously been softened to room temperature-ish. Cream that together with 1 1/3 cups sugar. Mix until smooth. Now it's time to mix in 1 cup of peanut butter, 1/3 cup heavy whipping cream, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Now it's time to add in 4 large eggs, 1 at a time. Now, if you're anything like me, you have farm fresh eggs, or even really if you buy store-bought eggs. I like to crack mine into a separate bowl on the side before I add it into what I'm cooking, because if you've ever had a bad egg, you know, and you'll do this for the rest of your life because it will ruin everything that you've already put into that bowl. You don't have to do this super slowly, just 1 at a time. You don't want to overmix it. Stir in 1 1/4 cup of miniature chocolate chips. Now that it's all mixed, you can put it into your pan right on top of your cookie crust. Smooth it out on the top to make sure it's all nice and pretty. Now comes the part that I have personally never experienced, but I can see why it works. Put your springform pan that is coated with tin foil into a roasting pan. Now you're going to add hot water to the roasting pan. This is going to create somewhat of a steam bath in the cooking process. Fill it up till it reaches about a quarter of the way up your pie tin. And now it's time to bake. This is going to go from 55 up to 70 minutes, depending on your atmosphere, where you live, and whether or not it's raining. Mine ended up going for initially the 55 minutes, another 7 minutes, and then another 5, and I just kept checking it. If your oven runs a little bit on the hot side and the top of your cake, pie, cheesecake, cake is getting too brown too fast, you can put a tent, essentially acting like a lid on the top. You can just form one out of tin foil. That will help it not to burn so quickly, or to burn at all. You'll know that it's done once the cheesecake has set around the edges and is slightly loose still in the middle. Once you have achieved this, take your whole contraption out of the oven. Remove your cheesecake from its water bath. Take off the tin foil and let it cool slightly. We're gonna leave it here for a little while just to cool down. We don't want to put something that's so hot directly into the refrigerator for that sudden temperature change. It's not good for the bacterias and all the things. Anywho, we're gonna leave it out here for just a little while, let it come down from temperature, and then we're going to refrigerate it for 5 hours or more. You can leave it in overnight. Just kind of depends on the time of day you started this project. And we'll see you back here this afternoon. I may or may not still be wearing this. Yes, I will. I'm committed. Well, in typical fashion for myself, during the 5 hours that our cheesecake was refrigerating, I lost my lipstick, so I couldn't renew it. But that's okay. That's where we're at. And so now that your cake is completely cooled, you're going to remove it from the refrigerator, run a thin knife or plastic tool of your liking to remove the seal to the edge of the pan. So you're just gonna run your knife right around the edge right there. Then release the ring form pan and transfer your cake onto a serving platter. On medium heat, bring half a cup of heavy whipping cream to a boil. Then pour it over half of the amount of chocolate chips. So this will be about 3/4 of a cup. Stir this until the chocolate is completely melted. Then add the remaining 3/4 cup of chocolate chips. Stir this until all of the chocolate is completely melted. Now set this aside to cool. This ganache should be easily pourable, but not too thin. After the ganache is cooled, you can pour it over the top of your cheesecake. If your ganache is a little bit too thick, you can reheat the second half and then it will help melt it onto the top. Just don't do it when it's too hot, because then it might affect the structure of the cheesecake itself. Now it's time to decorate it. Yes, decorations. So I'm gonna take my decorations off. Not that my sequins would fall in the cake or anything like that. Well, I do have to say that that ganache pour went a lot better than I think that it could have. I'm pretty excited. So we're just gonna let it set for a few minutes, let it kind of do what it's gonna do, and then we're gonna add more decorations. We're going for a graveyard theme today on our cake. So I got Reese's peanut butter cups. I know, this shopping list that I had for this cake, it goes against absolutely everything that I typically buy. But hey, I bet it's gonna be delicious. Sometimes we break the rules. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut these up. I want them to look like dirt. These were in the refrigerator, so hopefully they'll look a little chunky, like fresh dug up dirt. I'm not gonna lie, I had a hard time finding the Oreos at the store because it's in the middle of the store. I thought it was kind of funny. Maybe we can get these to look like dirt. And because this is a peanut butter chocolate cake, like a Reese's theme, I'm gonna add more nuts. It's not just peanuts, it's a mixture of peanuts, cashews, and almonds. That kind of looks really good. I can't help it, I have more. I can't help it, that's a silly thing to say. I wanted to. We've got some witch's boots. Got some witches buried over here. Oh, that's funny because I was dressed as a witch earlier today. Couple of hands sticking out. Last but not least, some witches' hats. We did it. We did it. I'm so pleased with the way that it came out. The textures, the structure of it. Oof. Even the decorations. I am so excited. If we are lucky, we're going to wait and we'll have a taste test before too long. Put this back in the fridge and wait until it's time to serve it. Ooh. Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that pretty?
Are those feet sticking up?
Yeah.
Should we try it?
Yes, we should try it.
Yeah?
I think that's the prettiest food I've ever made in my whole life. You try a slice?
Yeah. Oh, I feel like I should have coffee with it.
Ooh. We can wait and make a coffee if you want.
Would that be okay?
Yeah. How big of a slice do you want?
Kind of small on the smaller side. That looks like it doesn't belong there. Oh, wow. That is very good. Very sweet though,
Yeah.
but very good. My mom used to make peanut butter pie, and it kind of reminds me of that. Just the filling part of it.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of cheesecake. So I probably wouldn't know that it was cheesecake if I didn't know. That crust is good, but very sweet.
It's,
Much sweeter than a graham cracker crust would be.
yeah. Do you love it?
That is almost too sweet. But it's almost like eating a Reese's.
That was the goal, so that's good. I'll take that. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
If you're looking for more chocolate cake inspiration, go ahead and click this video right here and it will take you to another beautiful recipe. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Hamakua Homestead. I'll see you again soon.